Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, August 8th. It is 8:30 right here in Tucson, in Arizona, 8:30 a.m. And it is time for the mindful moment. I'm Reverend Dr. Jonathan Zenz here. I can put that up. You can see, not that you don't know who I am, but if you don't know who I am, if it's your first time, well, this is who I am right there. Oh, right there. Dr. Jonathan Zenz. That's me. And I am the senior minister at Unity of Tucson. And this is an opportunity we take every single weekday to join together to talk a little bit about some spiritual ideas and to then root those ideas in our hearts in whatever way works for us best through some affirmative prayer. So that's what we're here to do. That's what I'm here to do. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, I would love for you to post a comment and let me know that you are here. Is there anyone? I see that the comments are starting to come through. Oh, Sherry. Oh, that's who you are. Good morning, Sherry. Grateful to see you. Hello from William and Mike Stahman. Grateful to see you both as well here too. So what I wanted to talk, and I'm sure more comments will come in, but what I wanted to talk about today, there's been this move in me to, to really look at some of the basics, so like grounding myself back into the basics and allowing us to remember through the adoption of this thinking process, the basics of our thinking, that this whole philosophy is simple. It's actually very simple. Now, is it always easy? Not always, but the foundation is simple. The ideas are simple. And as we adopt those ideas simply into our lives, this is what I found as I've adopted the ideas simply into my life, life just gets better. But I've gone back to Lessons in Truth, talked about this previously, yesterday, in fact. And this is what really jumped out at me today as I sort of opened it randomly. In this, Emily Cady wrote, many have thought of God as a personal being. The statement that God is principle chills them. So I just want you to think about that. What is your concept? What is your construct of God, right? Like, what is it now? What has it been in the past? And is there a shift? Is there a change in your concept or your construct of God? Because I think even I still think of God sometimes as an identifiable being, right? As a personality, as something out there. I still think of it that way sometimes. And so part of my work is a consistent pulling myself back into a realization that there is greater power in understanding God as principle, God as the creative energy, God as the allness of divine ideas and expression. She continues to say, broader and more learned minds are always cramped by the thought of God as a person, for personality limits to place and time. And God is beyond the constructs of place and time. God is ineffable. God is omnipresence, omnipotence, omniscience. It is the allness, and it is not separate from anything. So God is the allness, right? That's what I talked a lot of. I talk a lot about it. It's like all I ever talk about. God is the name, she writes. God is the name we give to that unchangeable, inexorable principle at the source of all existence. And I would say it is the source of all existence. So why does this then become important? Well, one of the things that happens, by saying that God is not personality, God is principle, is that we get a bad rap sometimes. And I know some of you have heard me say this before. We get a bad rap in the New Thought movement with the construct or the idea that God is this cold thing, devoid of personality, devoid of identifiable expression. It is devoid of personalness. And so it feels very cold, right? that the only purpose for God is creation, and that's all it's ever going to do. It's going to give you exactly what you think into it. And so how do we personalize God is really the question today. How do we personalize God? Well, we are, each and every one of us is the personalization of God. We personalize God ourselves through our personality. We are the ones who provide the warmth. We are the ones who are the expression of the warmth. We are the expression of the love. We are the expression of the joy that we seek from God. At least that's the construct sometimes. We seek that from God. But what if we turned our minds around, once again, from the concept that we are seeking from something outside the self to we are the expression of that which we seek. And so we don't derive love, we don't derive joy, we don't derive happiness from anything outside the self. If we are internally joyful, internally loving, and internally happy, and it starts right here within each and every one of us, then the circumstances out there begin to reflect that which is within. And so that's part of the work, right? To not rely on anything outside the self for the fulfillment of the self. One of the foundational writings that has guided the New Thought movement is, the works of Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of the transcendentalists, is foundational in the work that we do in New Thought. And one of his essays, Self-Reliance, goes to the heart of that matter. And so if you ever are interested in reading that, it's a spectacular essay. You can find it online everywhere. It's in public domain. You can also find it published, but spectacular idea, this self-reliance thing, because it says we don't need to rely on anything outside the self, not at all, because the wholeness of the infinite is expressing by means of us. And so we personalize it. We are the personal factor, each and every one of us. So that's what I want to pray on today, and invite you into this construct of affirmative prayer with me. If it's safe and comfortable for you to close your eyes, if that is your comfort level in experiencing this thing called prayer, then I invite you to do so. It is not a requirement. You get to have the experience in the way that suits you best. I choose to close my eyes as it allows me to turn my attention to that inner life. To let go of the construct of outside things being the source. I am the source, and I'm opening up to everything outside being the reflection of my inner source. And we are each and every one of this. We are in this interplay of magnificent unity. This principle that we call God is letting itself be known as all creation. It is expressing itself as all creation. Everything seen, everything unseen, everything that is conceivable, and everything beyond our limited conception, it's all God. God, the principle, flowing forth into expression. I root myself in the understanding that this is our identity, each and every one of us. We are at our core and in full expression. The wholeness of us is God. There is no aspect of our being, spirit, soul, or body, that is not wholly divine, that is not wholly God essence. We are the principle expressed. And so knowing that we are the principle expressed, I trust in the free flow of personality expressing by means of us. We are the personal factor. We are the personal expression. We are the personal nature, bringing to fullness love, joy, harmony, light, beauty, joy, wisdom, magnificence. For we are magnificent just by being who we are. Our magnificence is not defined by anything other than our acceptance of it. And so I claim my magnificence. I recognize the magnificence in everyone whom I encounter. I know that everyone within the sound of this voice that I express right here and right now is magnificent. And so, with a grateful heart unfolding, I trust in the free flow of magnificence. I trust that we are the personality of the divine, this magnificent principle of creation. And I trust that we bring to the experience and expression of this thing called life on this plane of action the warmth, the comfort, and the joy. With gratitude overflowing from within, I simply let it be. I relax, release, trust, and know this to be so. And I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. And so it is. Well, there we are. Grateful, as always, to spend this time with you. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. I'll be back for the mindful moment. You know, one thing I usually start with, and I forgot to say it today, so I can say it anytime I want, is this reminder. You ready? The reminder is this: you are love, you are light, you are life, you are magnificent. Keep shining your light, sharing your magnificence with the world. I'm grateful to have you in my life, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Peace and blessings to you. Be well. Bye.